of these good teams is going to leave Charleston with an 0-3 record. Two teams with tons of experience, grad students, fifth-year seniors, all over the place. Two teams also struggling from three-point range. Miami shooting just 31%, VCU 28% from three. Your officials, Teddy Valentine, Tim Clockerty, and Brooks Wells. First shot of the game, Phil Russell off the mark, to follow by Bamisile, no good, but he gets it to drop on the second effort.
Miami has had a tough time defensive rebound in this whole tournament. VCU is taking advantage of that on the first offensive play.
A veteran starting five for Jim Larenega's Miami Hurricanes, led by the aforementioned Nigel Pack, who had 20 in their loss to Oklahoma State on Friday. Canes in their road orange. Here's Pack, first shot of the game, off the mark. Loose ball, it'll stay Miami basketball. Good effort by number 2 in orange, Brandon Johnson.
Brandon Johnson has been the bright spot to me to this Miami team. He has played hard in 2 games, has been, I think, the most dominant and most effective player for Miami.
Yeah, real glue guy, Swiss Army knife. Every coach loves to have a Brandon Johnson type on his team. Matthew Cleveland making his 3rd consecutive start. Gets fouled and will go to the line.
This game is about character. Both of these 2 coaches have preached to their team. It's a long season. We need to go inside ourselves. We need to figure out ways to win.
A little surprising that both are in the 7th place game. Coach Jim Larenega, just 75 years young. He's the 3rd oldest active head coach in basketball. Only Leonard Hamilton and Fran Dunphy are older than him, the Bronx native, now in his 54th year of coaching college basketball.
Leonard Hamilton called me and said, why do you guys keep throwing me in with Larenega and mentioning my age? We're not even playing.
No one looks better at 76 than Leonard Hamilton does. We should all look that good.
You know, this game is important for so many reasons, and me putting on my coaching cap, understanding that we need to come out of here in a positive manner. Both of these 2 teams, especially VCU, they lost 2 very, very tough basketball games. And to get out of here with a win would be extremely important for them, for Miami to get back on track with what they've got ahead of them, just even before they hit the ACC schedule, is important.
Russell, and that's a good sign because he's really struggled in the first 2 games here in Charleston. He was 2 for 6 coming in, missed his first shot, but canned that one. Miami preseason number 6 in the ACC, but they boast a lineup that can score the basketball. Here's Bamisile from Max Shulga in transition.
VCU's running very well. They really do a good job of sharing the basketball. And what's amazing is both of these 2 teams offensively came in, and that was supposed to be what they hung their hat on, and they've struggled.
Here's Lynn Kidd, the 7-footer. Skip pass. Good ball movement. Jalen Blackman can't get the 3-pointer to go. And the rebound to the big man, Christian Furman. Here's Shulga. Scored 20 in that overtime loss to Seton Hall and 17 on Friday against Vanderbilt. On the 3-point attempt, and it's going to be a 4-point play opportunity for Philip Russell.
I tell you, great action, a fade screen right there for Russell. He kept his eye on the basket, knocked it down. If they can get him going offensively, it really puts VCU in a very good place.
VCU coming into this season, preseason number 1 in the Atlantic 10. For Ryan Odom, their 2nd-year head coach. He led those UMBC Retrievers to arguably the biggest NCAA tournament upset ever back in 2018 when they beat University of Virginia. And he has dialed up a solid roster, a lot of returners, one of the oldest, most experienced lineups in all of college basketball.
Well, he comes from a basketball family. I mean, Dave Odom, legendary Hall of Fame coach at Wake Forest, Coach Tim Duncan, also at South Carolina.
Russell got fouled on the other end by Pack, and then Philip Russell returns the favor and fouls number 24 in orange. And that's 2 quick fouls on Philip Russell. So the starting point guard for the Rams going to have to take a seat on the bench. Number 2, Zeb Jackson checking in, though. Not a lot of drop-off considering Zeb Jackson's one of the top scorers on this team, Coach.
Yeah, he's one of the leaders on this team. He's been out. They're happy to have him back.
This is a little reversal of fortune here in the first 3+ minutes of this game. VCU has struggled getting out to early starts. They have trouble closing games. Miami, only 2 points. They've gotten off to quick starts and have struggled late. Lynn Kidd off the window.
But the guy that was getting you going was Russell. You never like to see a guy foul out before getting foul trouble before the first TV timeout.
Bamisile feeling it early. 7 points for Joe Bamisile. It's an 11-2 Rams run.
Bamisile is not bashful. If he gets a look, he will attack the basket.
He is all energy. One of the vocal leaders for Ryan Odom's Rams. And he's got an early 7 points. Here's Pack working on Jack Clark. 4 on the shot clock. Blackman to the hole and gets fouled for his efforts.
See, I think this is where VCU gets in trouble, not having a rim protector like
defense,
that.
You're not going to play for Coach L.
Yeah, and the other problem is he's trying to blend in and get the starting 5 to play in unison so he can bring along some of the younger guys, and he hasn't been able to bring along the younger guys, trying to get the starters to get going.
1 for 2 for Blackman, but he chases down the miss. And another foul call.
This, to me, looking at this VCU team, can be problematic. They really do not have a rim protector. In both of their 2 losses, the other teams were able to score in the paint in critical times of the game.
They lost in the first round 80-69 to the Drake Bulldogs, then lost on Friday 80-74 against Oklahoma State. There's Brandon Johnson's first 2.
And you see Miami now is making a conscious effort, to me, trying to get the ball into the paint.
Furman got it to go.
They really are looking for a big game out of him. He's been in foul trouble and hasn't been able to play as many minutes as they would like for him to play, and he certainly has to step up because he does have the ability to give him some rim protection.
Yeah, he only played 7 minutes in that heartbreaking loss to Nevada on Friday. Blackman still can't find the bottom of the basket. Zeb Jackson in transition, no. VCU lost 2 one-possession ball games here in Charleston. On Thursday, they lost to Seton Hall by 3 in overtime, and then a 64-61 loss at the hands of the Wolfpack. Divine Ugachukwu gets his first 2.
Ugachukwu has gotten in earlier today. They really like the way he can score the basketball and drive the ball, and he's been able to give Pack a little bit of a blow.
Here's Jack Clark. He has really struggled from 3-point range this trip to the Charleston Classic. Now 4 for 18 from the field and 2 for 16 from 3-point range.
But he's a good scorer, and he has to keep shooting the basketball, and they've just got to get him maybe a little cleaner looks.
Here's Kidd working on Furman. Nice kick out. And Ugachukwu pays it off. Back-to-back buckets for the freshman out of Sugar Land, Texas.
And again, we talk about Coach Larinaga wanting to bring the young guys on, and I guess today he said, no matter how the veterans go, we're going to work the young guys into this game and get them some experience.
One of the benefits of playing 3 games in 4 days guaranteed.
Without question. And that's why these tournaments are really good.
VCU with the 17-12 lead. They've led from the opening tip. Blackman, a 21-point-per-game scorer last year with the Stetson Hatters, but he struggled in his first 2 games here in Charleston. VCU returned 65% of their points per game last year. It's a veteran bunch. Let's see how they respond after back-to-back losses. So far, so good for Ryan Odom. And it's going to be Hurricanes basketball.
Johnson is he does a tremendous job rebounding the ball for Miami. He's been their best inside player, clearly.
Brandon Johnson had a double-double against the Cowboys on Friday. 12 points, 10 rebounds. His 23rd double-double of his career. Started off his career at East Carolina. And now McDonald's All-American checking in for Jim Larinaga. Number 3 in orange, Jalil Bethia.
Bethia's got a lot of potential.
Paul Biancardi and our ESPN recruiting crew rating him the number 10 overall prospect coming into college basketball this year.
I can't tell you how much pressure a lot of times that puts on a young man and the coaching staff, especially when you have veteran players, because they've got the experience.
He got an assist there to Lynn Kidd, who put the ball in spin cycle for 2.
And that's the way Kidd has to play. Whenever he catches the ball, he's got to find the defense and go right into his move or pass the basketball.
And Coach, from your mouth to Coach L's ears, you talked about him wanting to get the ball in the paint. 4 of their last 5 field goals have come from that area.
If you're not shooting the ball very well, that's the way to solve that problem. Get better shots and getting the ball closer to the basket.
Float game from Zeb Jackson, the bump and the bucket.
They have missed Jackson's performance early in the season. He is one of the leaders on this basketball team, and his ability to do exactly that, break down the defense, get to the rim, he can either finish it or he can pass it.
Zeb Jackson broke his hand on November 1st, had surgery 3 days later, and they were hopeful that he would make his return here in Charleston. Not only has he made his return, but he had 15 in his first game and led the team with 18 against a good defensive Nevada Wolfpack team. He's got his first 3 this afternoon with that and 1. Good defensive transition by Michael Bell, number 8 in white, but he turned it over. 11:55 to go in the first half of this consolation game from Charleston. VCU with a 6-point lead. How about you?
No. Those guys in the truck do an unbelievable job.
It has been a fun week here in Charleston, South Carolina. Shout out not only to our ESPN crew, but the event organizers here working countless hours to make sure not only the television crew, but the fans in attendance had the best time possible. It's been a rousing success again. 4 on the shot clock. Paul Jobet, the Frenchman, around and out. And it's a 1 and done for the Canes offense.
Miami's gone with basically a 4-round-1 offense right now with 4 perimeter guys and looking to attack the basket.
Zeb Jackson on the floor. Here's the jumper from Terrence Hill off the mark. And again, not a lot of offense coming from most of this Rams team. It's really been Shulga and Jackson and Bamisile.
I think they have to share the ball a little bit more. I think they've got to run what I call action, pin downs, curls, and get guys moving so they can catch the ball on the move. But again, you can obviously see Miami's is taking the ball to the basket. They've gone smaller. They've gone with more spacing. They've got guys that can put the ball on the floor really well.
Here's number 9 in white, Luke Bamboye, with that monster block. Now 5 to shoot. Here's A.J. Staten-McRae to Bethea for 3. Got it! 3 for number 3, Jalil Bethea.
He said, I've been waiting for this.
He has been. He was scoreless against the Cowboys. Now he's back in the scoring column with his first 3 of the afternoon. Miami within 3. They've trailed from the opening tip. Jackson can't answer. And a man's rebound by Brandon Johnson. Here's Ugachukwu, another freshman. Staten-McRae, tough 2 off the window.
This group for Miami passes the ball well, puts the ball on the floor well, and attacks the basket well. This is, I think, they've been their best offensive lineup that they've had.
Yeah. Plagued by slow starts in their first 2 games. They shot it from the field in the second half at a 50% clip, but they just got behind too much in their first 2 games. Now they're within 1 against the Rams.
There you see Miami passing the ball around right there. Bethea knocks down the 3. He's a happy young man. Now in transition, you see a dump off right there, finish at the rim. This Miami team, Coach Larinaga is going to fix the problems. You know, it's like you have, you bring home a furniture and you wind up having a couple of pieces after you assemble everything that are there and you don't really know where they go. That's the way he feels a little bit with this team. He's got the right pieces, but he's just got a couple where he's got to put the right ones in the right spot.
Well, to steal your analogy, Max Shulga is like a big, comfy sectional couch. He could do a little bit of everything for VCU. He had that 3 moments ago. Another big block by the freshman Bamboye. And a technical. A little bit of immaturity shown by Luke Bamboye, letting the Hurricanes know about it after that second block.
Yeah. You know, they bring Bamboye in. He's one of their few rim protectors. He makes a great block. And see, that's what got him in trouble. Going after the Miami player to say something to him. And again, this is another fine officiating group with veteran officials. And it's just certain things you just don't do with veteran officials.
Staten-McRae makes them pay. They'll get another free throw and the basketball. Both technical free throws good by A.J. Staten-McRae, a redshirt junior out of Delray.
Staten-McRae, defensively he comes in, he really does a good job helping Miami. He also, when they get stagnant, he puts the ball on the floor very well and drives the ball to the basket.
And we saw Ryan Odom talking to his young big man, a teachable moment right there for Luke Bamboye, who takes a seat on the bench. So now a fresh 20 on the shot clock for the Canes. A chance to take a lead for the first time today if they can hit a 3-pointer. Four subs on the floor for Jim Larinaga. Centered around the center, Lynn Kidd, the lone starter out there. Bethea, short on that 3. And Shulga clears. Max Shulga, the leading rebounder for the VCU Rams through the first 6 games of the season.
Shulga will run the point a lot of times for VCU when they get stagnant. He's a really good passer.
And that's an errant pass and a turnover off the hands of the freshman, Brandon Jennings.
Jennings is another one of those highly recruited freshmen.
Here's freshman against freshman, Ugachukwu and Jennings. And a foul called, and a bailout foul as Ugachukwu slipped on the drive. And that's going to be the second foul on Jennings.
Young players have to learn when a guy puts the ball on the floor, you have to back up, not go at him and attack him. because that's when you get in foul trouble. You have to contain the basketball.
1-1 after the 8th team foul by the Rams, and Ukachukwu can't make him pay. Max Shulga brings it up. 5 points for him, 7 for Bamisile. A 2-point VCU lead. And they add to that lead. Bamisile's in double digits already.
I love Bamisile. I mean, he brings such energy. He doesn't meet a shot he doesn't think he can make. He's got a great, what I call, basketball imagination.
Preseason second team all A-10. This is the first time in his college career he spent an offseason with the same team. This is his 4th school in his collegiate career. Nice look up ahead to the big man. Furman pays it off.
That's what they want from Furman. He rim ran that time, got to the front of the rim. They found him in transition.
Let's see how the Canes can answer after a quick 5-0 spurt from the Rams. Catch and release off the mark. Another rebound for Shulga. How about Max Shulga's day so far? We're 12 minutes into this game. He has 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists
under
already.
60 can leave, and if you are under 60, you can't leave out. So he hasn't been able to see him. He was able to see his sister and his mom in Italy this summer, and so he plays with a lot on his shoulders, and it just goes to show you there's a lot that these young people go through beyond basketball.
Another look from Shulga, and that's another assist.
He plays the game with such pace. He's not really the point guard on this team, but yet he plays that position because he's such a fine passer, and he's the calming factor for everybody else on the team.
13 minutes in, this might be the earliest we've ever said this, but we're on triple-double watch already with Max Shulga. Bamisile, the hottest hand of them all, another 3.
He is an exciting player to watch. He pumps up everybody else on the team. Make a basket with maybe nobody else on the floor. He recognizes the same shot opportunity.
So Miami had gotten within a bucket, and then a 13-2 VCU run has brought them their largest lead of the game. Now Pack back on the floor. Let's see if he could spark the offense. He does, right on cue.
What's so amazing about Pack is he's smallish, and he gets good looks at the basket. He's not intimidated by size, either coming off the screens or people guarding him.
Bamisile, heat check. 16 for Joe Bamisile. Here's Kidd. Canes still want to pound it down low. Good ball movement. Can Pack go 2 for 2? Not this time. Good save by Jack Clark. And here come the Rams. I'm no genius, but I'd say get the ball to Bamisile. Shulga already with 7 assists this afternoon. Bamisile. Got to stick to the left side, 22.
The one thing you have to do when you know you have a hot hand is find space to be able to shoot the ball. That time Bamisile came off of a fade screen to make sure he had the spacing to get the shot up and knock down the 3.
Joe Bamisile averages 17 a game. That leads this Rams team in scoring. He's already at 16, and he'll get a well-deserved breather, if only for a couple of moments.
The poor guy misses one shot and they take him out the game.
Take us inside that logic for a head coach. When you have someone on the floor who is as scorching hot as someone like Joe is, do you tell the rest of the team, get that dude the ball?
Well, obviously, you really don't have to. I think players have that chemistry, especially veteran players that understand that. And he wanted to give Bamisile a rest, but he was so hot. So you wait till he misses one and say, okay, we're going to give you a quick breather because you're going to have a TV timeout at 4, and then we'll get you back in.
5 minutes to go in the first half. The Miami Hurricanes have played 55 minutes of basketball here in Charleston and have never led. Here's Clark. Good hands, deflected out of bounds by 0 and orange Matthew Cleveland. This is a Miami team that came in averaging about 98 points a game. They're still 29th in the nation in scoring and 10th in field goal percentage, but they're going up against a really strong defensive unit in the VCU Rams.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that has been mystifying to Coach Larinaga, and I'm not speaking for him. Offensively, they have not been able to score at the same production rate that they were coming in here.
Shulga comes up short on that inbounds 3. Kidd, the no look. Johnson. And that patience doesn't pay off that time. Nice look. Clark, Shulga, count it!
You can't give Shulga that much time. I mean, he got a cup of coffee with the time he had that before the closeout. I mean, he is a really good shooter.
He might have had some shrimp and grits with all the time he had there. 8 for Shulga. The lead is 13 for the Rams. Cleveland rises up, air ball. Out of bounds. Tim Clougherty says it'll stay Miami basketball. It's been all VCU, Coach.
And it has mainly because of Max show broke down film, and mentally he got in their heads to make them understand that they got so much more to play for.
His club shooting 56% from the field and 7 for 14 from 3. Speaking of 3, that's the second triple of the day for Nigel Pack.
He gets his shots up so quickly. I don't know if folks watching him on TV really understand how small he is and how fast he gets his shots up.
Preseason first team All-ACC is Nigel Pack, leading scorer for this Canes club. Out of bounds, and TV Teddy says we're going the other way. Well drawn up by Jim Larinaga.
Without question. Yeah, again, I mean, they keep Pack on the point, and I just think over the course of the season, they've got to find somebody else to initiate because he's going to get worn down.
2 freshmen on the floor now for Larinaga. Number 23 in orange, Austin Schwartz, is on there with Jalil Bethea. Bethea with the ball, rises up, and can't beat the shot clock. Here's Shulga.
This is where he's really effective. He does a great job reading situations.
Tried to draw the foul and no whistle came. It's out of bounds, but it'll be VCU basketball. This is a VCU team that was shooting 28% from beyond the arc in their first 2 games. They're 7 for 14 in the first half.
Those mental practices work sometimes.
VCU, the preseason favorite in the Atlantic 10. Coming in 18th in the nation in scoring defense as well, but their offense has taken center stage today.
And not just that, this VCU program is just nationally respected. They've had some outstanding coaches, some great teams.
Bamisile finally misses one from the left side. And here's Bethea.
This young man has to step up and start playing well for Miami. And that's what he can do. He's great off the bounce, creating his own shot.
And a timeout is called, use it or lose it, from Ryan Odom, but we're finally...
Get them playing the way I want them to play for us to win games. And then I start bringing on the younger guys. And right now, what's been disruptive to Miami is the older guys have not played with a consistent pace. So I can now bring the young guys in and let them fit in.
An 8-point VCU lead with the ball coming up on 2 minutes to go in the first half. The winner flies back home feeling much better about themselves. The loser will have to go home with an 0-3 record in Charleston. Here's another freshman, Austin Schwartz. They go inside out, but Thea lost the footing and the handle. Kidd. Time running out on the shot clock. Brandon Johnson gonna have to put it up. He didn't know that the clock was running down, and that is a violation.
Yeah. And Coach Larinaga telling him, shoot the ball. He said, Coach, I wasn't open.
That's the challenge, and we've seen that bear witness in the last couple of games.
To show you how long he's been coaching, he coached Ralph Sampson. I've applied for an assistant job at Virginia when Ralph was going into senior year, and Jim Larinaga showed me around.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in Charlottesville. Bamisile. Good and one from Shulga. Another assist for Max Shulga, and a 3-ball from Zeb Jackson.
It's good to have Jackson back, and you can kind of see this chemistry the VCU team is getting back now with him being back in the lineup.
8 points, 8 dimes, and 5 rebounds for Max Shulga. Under a minute to go. Shulga already has tied his season high in assists with 8. And again, I don't want to fall victim of hyperbole, but this is probably the earliest we've ever talked about a triple-double watch. He is on the way to a triple-double with 8 points, 8 assists, and 5 boards.
You know, he plays the game with such really good pace. And I talk about that because I think you have to play the game at a pace where you can make decisions and still be effective, and that's what he's able to do.
Schwartz with a full head of steam kicks it out. Bethea rises up, knocks it down. Welcome to Charleston, Jalil Bethea.
And that's what he can do. He's a very good offensive player. He can make tough shots.
He was the McDonald's All-American Slam Dunk winner, but he's showing us something with his stroke. That one off the mark from Jackson. And now Bethea playing with some confidence. And he's got to tie up his shoes before he gets going here. He better hurry up. There's 5 to shoot. Ugachukwu off the mark. Shulga, the heave off the window, and we'll go to break. VCU's largest lead of the half was 13. The lead. They trailed by as many as 13 in this game, and they find themselves down 9 with the basketball to open the second half. Keep in mind, VCU led Seton Hall by 8 and led Nevada by 15 before surrendering those leads.
And this Miami team certainly has the firepower and the capability of coming back.
Inside, Kidd, and he traveled with it.
And that time he caught the ball. He tried to move too fast. I constantly say he's got to catch, find the defense, then go into his action.
And Jim Larinaga was perplexed about that call, giving Brooks Wells his 2 cents.
Is that a nice way of saying he wasn't happy?
He was not happy at all. Here's Bamisile, 22 and white, leading all scorers with 16. Bamisile tries it again. Why not? Too strong that time. Jalil Bethea gets the start in the second half after a really good first 20 minutes. 7 on the shot clock. Another freshman, Schwartz, who starts the second half, misses his first shot. And now it's the point guard, Russell. Shulga stops Doesn't get it to go, but will they get a foul on Miami?
And Teddy Valentine is warning the VCU bench to sit down and don't try to help him officiate. There you see Shulga looked like he got fouled there. That's what the bench was up and complaining about. The call came in, it just came a little late.
So Max Shulga, a reliable free throw shooter, steps to the line, 75% on the season for Shulga. How many broadcaster jinxes have there been in this tournament? I usually tell everybody there are no jinxes. You either make it or you miss it. Max can't hear me talking right now, but he makes good on the second one. 9 points for Shulga, and the lead is up to double digits for VCU. Their first 2 losses here in heartbreaking fashion, in overtime by 3 to Seton Hall, and a comeback win for Nevada when they were down 15 against these Rams on Friday. Bethea, a deep 3. And Jack Clark had it and lost it. It'll stay Miami basketball.
There you see Clark had it and just lost it right there.
It's been a frustrating trip to Charleston for 7th-year veteran Jack Clark. 5 points against Seton Hall, 5 against Nevada. Came into this game just 2 for 15 from 3-point range, and he's yet to get in the scoring column today. And now he's tasked with guarding Nigel Pack. Pack missed it, and we have a VCU foul under the basket.
It's on Russell.
And that's going to be the 3rd on the point guard, Russell.
He goes to try to block out. Yeah, you see him throw an elbow, you know, like that. I mean, that. And Teddy Valentine is telling all the players right now, no more talking. I told you this before. Veteran officials do not take a lot of conversation from players.
It's too early in the morning for that, Coach. They need some churching up in the Holy City. Here's Johnson. In and out on the 3-ball. Clark clears for VCU. Bamisile. Look at the ball sing for the Rams offensively. Zeb Jackson had a couple threes in the first half. Now Shulga spins into the lane and got the contact and will go back to the free throw line.
Shulga created that foul. He saw he was matched up with Pack. He drove him to a spot, spun, and then went right into him to force the foul.
Max Shulga making a bid to become an all-tournament team here in Charleston. Had 17 in their first game and a game-high 20 in their second game against Nevada. He's in double digits now with 10 against the Canes. And you could tell Jim Larinaga has a short fuse in this game after what he's seen the first couple of games from his Hurricanes. Offensive rebound after the Shulga miss. And Furman lost the handle. Nice pass. And a foul on the other end. Austin Schwartz will go to the line. That's the second foul on Shulga.
He goes straight up, but again, that's a smart play by a veteran player. He did go straight up, but he did put his body on, and he created a defensive advantage on that play, and that's what he was called for the foul for.
So that's the second on Shulga. Austin Schwartz at the line. And it's worth noting that not only is Jalil Bethea a top recruit coming in, but Austin Schwartz is a consensus top 50 recruit himself. 4-star shooting guard out of Concord, North Carolina, and he makes them both. VCU with the ball. They're up by 9, and they have led from the opening tip. Cross court. Jackson, good shot fake. In the corner, Clark still can't find the bottom from three-point range.
That was excellent offensive execution. They swung the ball around. They had Miami in rotation. They got a good look. It just didn't go down.
Here's Schwartz, catch and release, too strong. And Bamisile brings it up the right side. Joe had 16 in the first half. He's averaging 17 on the year, and he's eclipsed that already just a couple of minutes in to the second half. He's a very good one-on-one player. That time he was isolated with Blackman, and he was just too big for Blackman in the paint area. Slow start offensively for both clubs, but Bamisile breaks the seal. And he gets the steal. Here come the Rams in transition. And good get back by Schwartz. Try to thread the needle to Johnson, out of bounds. It'll stay Miami ball with 23 on the clock.
Both of these two teams really prefer to be in transition.
So now Zeb Jackson goes out, and freshman Brandon Jennings, 0 and white, will take his place on the floor for Ryan Odom. Nigel Pack, preseason first team All-SEC. 2 years ago, when Miami made that magical run to the Final Four, he was the MOP in that region. And now he's got a running mate in Jalen Blackman who could fill it up.
The two Miami guards really can extend the defense because of their ability to knock down three-point shots.
Bamisile left alone. And he was scorching hot and has now gone cold. And Schwartz, an easy 2 at the other end.
That time, VCU was out of defensive balance. The guards were underneath and nobody was able to get back in transition.
Shulga for 3. He has 13.
But that's the answer right there. It's Shulga.
13, 6, and 8 for Max Shulga. Big to big. Paid off by Brandon Johnson.
Now, this is where Miami started off, going inside on just about every possession, and they're going back to that. So obviously something was said at halftime.
Shulga thought about the 3 and got fouled by Schwartz. Max Shulga picking up. Doesn't even matter how well they shoot.
Well, but I think the other thing is, I think today they've constantly tried to get the ball inside to the paint and try to establish an inside game to go along with their shooting.
Five on the shot clock for the Rams. Jackson going to try and do it himself. The lefty jumper, no good. Kept alive by Jennings and put home by Furman.
Again, they got hurt with the offensive rebounding of their opponent. And
Christian Furman had a combined 4 points in the first 2 games. He's doubled that today against Miami. 8 points for the big man. Here's Schwartz, rises up, knocks it down. 6 points for Austin Schwartz.
And I can see why this Miami staff is so high on their freshmen, especially them offensively and their ability to go create shots.
Here's another one, number 4, Isaiah Johnson-Arigu, getting some burn. So you combine the 2 on the floor right now, Schwartz and Johnson-Arigu, with Bethea and Ugachukwu. The future's bright for the Hurricanes.
Very much so.
There's a 3 ball. Jalen Blackman's got his second triple of the second half. Give him 7, and all of a sudden Miami's cut the VCU lead to 5.
And VCU has to be saying, we've seen this movie before.
Right. They led by 15 against Nevada, only to lose by 3. And they led by 8 against Seton Hall and ended up losing that game in overtime.
But what Bell just did, I think, is what VCU has to be able to do. They have to go to the rim. When you go to the rim, you get easier shots, you get people in foul trouble. You've got to put pressure and attack the rim.
A familiar script for the Hurricanes, now at 50% shooting in the second half, just like the first 2 games. And Johnson Arrigu gets the bucket. And foul on Miami.
What has gotten VCU to me in trouble in the earlier 2 games is teams, because they were behind, attacked them in the paint, and so they don't have the physicality or the post play to deter. When coaches like to say rim protector, they don't have that rim protector that makes people change their shots in the paint.
We talk so much in today's basketball game about veterans and 50-year seniors and grad students. All of a sudden, some youngsters are taking center stage. Brandon Jennings, a highly touted freshman for Ryan Odom's VCU Rams, gets his first point.
And that's what's going to happen. I mean, and that's what makes this game, I think this season in basketball is going to be so exciting. So there are a lot of young, talented players that our fan base doesn't know or seen a lot of, and they're starting to step up and play.
And now Jennings guarding a fellow freshman, Ugachukwu. Wave off that basket, it won't count, and a foul on the floor on VCU. That's going to be the first for Michael Bell.
And again, obviously Miami has watched film, because right now the guys that Coach Larranaga has in the game all can take you off the bounce, and that's what they're trying to do against this VCU team.
Canes offense 6 for their last 7 from the field. Bad pass, turnover. Here comes Bamisile leading the charge. Little hezzy, and he found the seam.
And Coach Larranaga is not happy at all. You know, for VCU, the worst thing is, you've been up. You've been up 15 points and lost. You've been up 10 points and lost. And so right now, it's a very delicate stage where you want to give your guys some rest, but yet keep on doing what you're doing. And this VCU team is really playing well right now, especially defensively.
Ugachukwu, aggressive, but had it blocked. And then the foul is going to be called, and Brandon Johnson's going to go to the line. But we have immediate timeout to take first. When we come back, Miami at the free throw line,
because that band is really, really special.
The Peppers, shout out to them. Brandon Johnson at the line. 4 points on the afternoon so far. And as usual, he's doing yeoman-like work on the boards. 8 rebounds for Johnson to go along with what now is 5 points. Had a double-double yesterday, or 2 days ago, rather, against Oklahoma State.
You know you're playing well when the only thing your coach can yell at you about is shoot the ball.
Right. Zeb Jackson 2-1, and White brings it up for VCU. 11:25 to go. VCU's led throughout by as many as 13. Now it's 7. Michael Bell, tough take from the sophomore out of London, England.
Good offensive execution that time.
Now Bell on the defensive end. Inside. Johnson double team. And Johnson Arrigu stepped on the line.
Because of VCU's size, they double the post a lot of times because they don't have that physical shot blocker. It has hurt them at times in this tournament, but so far against Miami, it has paid some dividends for them because they've made the Canes kick it out or they've turned them over.
Both clubs have played a relatively clean game so far. Just the 5th turnover for Miami, only 4 for VCU. Here's Shulga back on the floor after a breather. Bell threw it away. Here's Ukachukwu rather.
Turnovers is not what VCU needs right now.
4 freshmen on the floor for Jim Larrañaga. Schwartz shoots it, misses it. What does this say about what Jim Larrañaga thinks about his team's performance, that he's putting 4 freshmen on the floor right now?
Yeah, but he's got guys that are aggressive offensively, can put the ball on the floor and attack the basket. And I think that's what they feel like they need to do to get easier shots. Now, he's not happy defensively, and that's why you're seeing 2 veterans coming to the scorer's table.
That 3-pointer, the 4th of the game for Max Shulga. He has 16. Joe Bamisile with the rebound.
You know, I talked about earlier with Miami trying to integrate the veterans with the younger players.
I was calling number 99, team 5th.
And there you see, that's part of the action that VCU uses, and that's what I'm saying. That's just good basketball right there to get a good look for your best shooter.
24 on the clock. They inbounds, get it back to Zeb Jackson. Those are the big 3: Jackson, Bamisile, and Shulga. Here's Max again. Oh, and it was a round and out, but Johnny on the spot is Michael Bell.
Offensive execution right now, VCU has stepped up, and they've really done a good job of solidifying that they get good shots every time down the floor.
Here's Lynn Kidd, left hand, no. Bell has made an impact in the last couple of minutes.
He has, because he's given them that physical presence that I talked about had been lacking earlier in this tournament for VCU.
And a little bit of a frustration foul there on the freshman Bethea against Max Shulga.
Well, what has happened, Bethea being aggressive, he's running the screen after screen after screen, which action gives you, as opposed to just guarding the basketball, which is what you get sometimes when you go against just 4 out, 1 in type of spacing offensively.
That's already 16 fouls for the Hurricanes. Double team. Now 5 on the shot clock. Jackson off the window.
That was a veteran move right there. Jackson drove, let the defense come down, and then finished at the rim.
A 9-0 run, largest lead of the game, and Johnson threw it right into the hands of the VCU defense. Bamisile short on that through. Johnson his 9th rebound. Here's Lynn Kidd. Nice move to his left.
That's good high-low there with Johnson and Kidd. And that's part of what Miami has to do, and mix that with their perimeter shooters.
Here's Bell for 3. Around and out. VCU's had a couple of those. Now Nigel Pack. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And we'll take another media timeout. 7:16 to go. Time is not on the side.
All of those guys are excellent coaches.
Yeah, that is an impressive list, to say the least. A cradle of coaches, so to speak.
I'd be nervous to be the guy to follow those guys. You don't want to mess it up.
Well, Ryan Odom has DNA that is head coach material, right? His dad, Dave, in attendance. Long-time successful Division I head coach. Most recently at Wake Forest.
But I was telling you, when I interviewed at the Virginia job and first met Coach Larinaga, they gave the job to Dave Odom.
That one up and in by Zeb Jackson.
It's important right now for VCU to control the game with their offense as much as their defense, which means coming down, getting good shots, running good stuff, burning some clock, getting to the foul line.
With under 7 minutes to go, this looks like a completely different VCU team than one we saw Thursday and Friday.
And again, you know, we laughed a little bit when I said yesterday they had like a mental practice. But a lot of times that's what teams need. It's not so much physical. You don't have to go out and work them real hard because they're giving you everything they have. You just got to clear their minds and clear up the few mistakes that you're making and show them what they need to do to finish ball games.
And the freshman Jennings with his first field goal.
That's a bad foul right there. Now, that's a bad foul. What he should do is get away from Pack, run in front of him, and try to reestablish defensive position.
That's the fourth foul on Jennings, and there's the aforementioned legendary Dave Odom.
That's a legend right there. Very, very special man, special coach. What he's done at different programs and what he's done for the game of basketball. I mean, you know, he had one of our own, Randolph Childress, at Wake Forest, and Tim Duncan. I mean, he's just inspirational guy. And he always talks to you like he's not real sure what he's doing. You know, he's asking you questions, but he's already got the answers.
Some might say that's sandbagging, because no one knows basketball like Dave Odom does, and no one has a bad word to say about that job. Out of bounds, it'll be VCU basketball. If there was any question about can VCU close out games, I think they're answering that question this afternoon.
They're playing really well right now, and again, I think the difference is they're running sets. They're just not running motion, and they're getting the ball to the guys that they want to have it.
Knocked away by Kidd. He chases it down and takes his time and puts it in. Nice play from the big man.
The one thing you can't do right now is turn it over.
5:20, still plenty of time, but the Canes have got to get hot and they've got to get stops. And that's going to be the third foul on Christian Furman.
So they have a turnover and they have an offensive foul. Big guys have to understand when they're setting ball screens, it is up to the guard to use the ball screen. You cannot move. The lineup Miami has is an aggressive offensive lineup. They can really put the ball on the floor and attack the basket with this lineup.
Here's Kidd from the elbow. Now Schwartz can't get it to go. Zeb Jackson up ahead. Shulga the pass. And another assist to Joe Bamisile, who has 22.
22, Joe Bamisile.
So Max Shulga, triple-double watch still in effect. 16 points, 7 rebounds, and now 9 assists.
Season would not expect, but give Coach a lot of credit.
What did you like more? We saw Drake twice on Thursday and Friday. What did you like most about that team?
I like the confidence in which they play and how they want to play the game. They know how they want to play the game, and they know their responsibilities in doing that.
If you're not familiar with the Bulldogs story, first-year head coach Ben McCollum is not a rookie head coach. 15 years at Division II Northwest Missouri State, led them to 4 national titles, and this year he brought 4 of his starters with him over to Des Moines to the Division I level. And all they are is undefeated in their first 6 games. Here's a look at those 4 dudes who came over from Northwest Missouri State to Des Moines, and Bennett Sturtz, Daniel Abreu, Mitch Mascari, and Isaiah Jackson.
And they all play with a lot of confidence. They understand the offense, you know, and give coach a lot of credit. I mean, it's good to see guys that have toiled at a certain level and be able to get an opportunity and take advantage of it.
Okay, we got 1 shot.
Kid has played well today for Miami. This has been his best performance so far in the tournament.
11 points, now 12 to go along with 6 rebounds. And that's the best case scenario for Jim Larrañaga. Stop the clock, score some points, and now you need a defensive stand. Deflection by the Miami defense. Here they come again.
They cannot turn the ball over.
A 3 attempt, short by Staten McCray. Got his own miss, out of bounds, VCU basketball. 3:57 to go. That's what stands between the VCU. Shulga has stumped the stat sheet, a near triple-double for him. And Miami has had balanced scoring like they've had all year, but playing much better in the second half than they did in the first.
Again, another set play. Got a good look, didn't want to take it. Bamisile again turned the ball over.
Staten McCray points off turnovers for the Canes. And the block by Staten McCray at the other end, and it's Canes' ball.
I got to put, Bamisile has to slow down right now. He's played tremendous right now for VCU, but you're up. Take your time, possession of the basketball, quality shots means so much. He's had a couple of turnovers, right? And this is how Miami can get back in this ball game.
Floater by Pack off the mark, another rebound for Max Shulga. That's rebound number 8 in what has been an all-around excellent floor game for number 11 and 1 with the ball. And that's going to be number 5 on the big man, Christian Furman.
The foul there is he can't turn his body to set up the screen. Watch this action. Yeah, he comes off. He turns into the defensive player. He can't do that. He has to be stationary and that's what I'm saying. The guard has to be the one to use the screen. The big guy can't go hunting the defensive player.
And while they're getting ready to inbounds the ball, Coach, I noticed Jim Larrañaga, excuse me, talking to number 24 with the ball, Nigel Pack. It might be takeover time for Pack.
Yeah, so they're getting him off the ball, which means they're looking for him.
Instead, he gives it up. Staten McCray up and under, no. Kidd, yes. 14 for Lynn Kidd, and it's a 10-point game.
The last 3 times down, VCU has not even had a shot attempt.
You have to wonder if those kind of thoughts are creeping into the minds of the Rams. Another empty possession. Here comes Miami. Blackman for 3. A 9-0 Miami run, and it's single digits. Ryan Odom, he's going to want the ball in the hands of Max Shulga and Zeb Jackson and Joe Bamisile. They're all on the floor right now. VCU's last 3 minutes of game time, no points and 3 turnovers.
Looks like Miami's in a zone or some sort of trap. $10 on the shot clock. Shulga calls his own number
and comes up short. One and done again for VCU. Largest lead has been 16 for the Rams. Offensive rebound, Johnson. Shulga grabbed that one and ripped it away. But he's going to get whistled for the foul, his third. And now Miami's going to go to the line, stop the clock at 1:23, and shoot 2 free throws.
And again, we talked about earlier, VCU not having a great rim protector. Right now, the physicality on the offensive glass for Miami is beginning to pay off with both Kidd and Johnson.
And free throws and free throw misses proving costly for the Canes. They've only missed 2 or 3 make that this afternoon. 15 for 18 as a team. But they will need everyone they can get at this point. And now the freshman Bethia back on the floor. Good test for him.
Yeah, at this point, I think VCU just has to run really good offense. I don't think they can hold the basketball. They've just got to run really good offense.
Bamisile to Shulga. Off the mark. Offensive rebound and a huge one by Clark. Under a minute to go. 15 to shoot, and the Canes forced to foul.
That was a big-time offensive rebound that time. There you see the shot goes up. Not being able to get it, they just bat the ball up in the air. Clark is able to come down with it, and they did a smart thing. He brought it out instead of looking to attack.
And Jackson misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Still time for the Canes. They need a miracle and a few threes. Here's Staten McCray. And they can't find the bottom of the bucket, and Lynn Kidd will foul Jack Clark and send him to the line.
Fouls called on 1, Lynn Kidd, his second, team 8.
Pack was looking for the step back. That's a shot he makes a lot of time. Give Kidd a lot of credit for an offensive rebound. They move the ball around, get a pretty good shot, and it just didn't go.
Jack Clark, 1-1.
In that type of situation when the other team know you're hunting threes, to get that kind of look, can't ask for much more than that.
Jack Clark scoreless this afternoon, gets his first bucket from the free throw line, and that's their first point in over 4 minutes,
yeah.
Coach.
That's how you let leads get away.
One thing Ryan Odom and company will be practicing when they get back to Richmond is execution in the final 5 minutes. Can they hang on? Up 7, 30 seconds to go. Another missed 3, another offensive rebound, but Kidd lost it. And now the shot clock is off and no foul called. And finally they get the foul on Jackson, sending him to the free throw line again.
I think Miami was a little confused if they wanted to foul or did not want to foul, and I think it confused the officials too.
Well, they led by as many as 16, but a couple of free throws here should put this game on ice.
You okay? No, you got it. I'm just saying you called the hand when I touched his hand. True. First possession. 1-1.
And Jackson makes the first. He has 11. Well, with 20 seconds left, we feel pretty comfortable giving the player of the game to this man. Max Shulga, 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. A terrific game by Shulga, coupled with 22 from Joe Bamisile, and Zep Jackson chipped in with a dozen as well.
You know, this game means an awful lot to VCU. I mean, nationally, everybody looked at them as an NCAA team, you know, having that coming into the tournament, to lose to the way they lost.
And 9 assists.
You know, I used to always feel bad when our fans would travel and we didn't play well. That's hard, because you know the sacrifice your fan base makes to come on these trips.
Nigel Pack held in check this game. Just 9 points for him after a 20-point effort against Oklahoma State. Let's take a look at Max Shulga stuffing the stat sheet this afternoon.
Well, he does a little bit of everything. I tell you what now, he passes the ball and sets up his teammates. He goes and gets rebounds. You know, he's physical when he has to. He steps away and knocks down three-point shots. But he's just so unselfish, so he's hard to guard because he doesn't force anything he doesn't have, and the looks he gets. You know, he's not a volume shooter, but the looks he gets, he takes advantage of. And other than you jinxing him on the foul line at one time, he's been pretty good.
That's why I kept my mouth shut and just let you do the talking now, Coach. Shulga with 17, and he has been steady Eddie in this tournament. 17 in the first game, 20 in the second, and now 18 in the third. Hurricanes still going hard.
Number 5, Jalen Blackman.
A dozen for Jalen Blackman, 5 seconds to go. And Jim Larinaga calls off the Dogs. VCU hangs on. They led by 16, and they win it by 7.